Hi, I'm H.L. McCullough.
I'm Bo Airbout.
We are Central Magnet Seniors, and this is our thesis.
It's a toothbrush and toothpaste combination product. So our problem statement is toothbrushes and their components are currently made from non-environmentally friendly plastics. Therefore, this causes a great amount of waste. Now, the problem relevancy for this is that 1 million toothbrushes are thrown away every year in the United States. And to further back this up, the EU was planning on passing legislation in 2019 to limit the amount of toothbrushes that could be thrown out in European Union countries.
So, when looking at prior patents, we noticed that all of them included plastic. And similar to this piece here, the toothbrush would have either the toothpaste come out from the inside of the handle and then be applied, or you would squeeze the handle and the toothpaste would come through the bristles and onto the top of the bristles. Problem is, with the coming up onto the bristles from the handle, is that the toothpaste often gets clogged up at about this position, and it's hard and very difficult to unclog it. And another problem with these type toothbrushes is the toothpaste itself would require an adapter in order to get toothpaste from a plastic tube into this tube and then onto the bristles. So you're using 4 pieces of plastic to do one thing, so it's only adding to the problem. And that's similar to what these patents show. This patent here actually has a clip to where you could potentially use it as a clip onto a bag or clothes or something to that effect. But pretty much everything else is similar to what I just described. And
So obviously, as HL just said, all the prior inventions and products were made out of plastic. So the only thing we can get out of them is just design cues and like ergonomic things to give us a reference for size. So for our first prototype, we were solely focused on ergonomics, so we decided to cut our bamboo toothbrush in half to try to make it as small as possible. But the problem with this is that it reduced the structural stability of the product, so it broke. That was the problem with that one. Second prototype, we used a full-length bamboo toothbrush to solve our problems with our structural stability. After that, we were able to make our cover that slid back and forth just like we wanted. So then we went ahead and made the box for our travel toothpaste tube on the top. But the issue with this is that it was so large that it was just simply too hard to hold, and therefore ruined our ideas and wants for ergonomics to be our #1 priority. So after that, we moved on to our Sensodyne travel toothpaste tube, and the reason we moved on to this is because it was the same width as our product. This definitely helped with our ergonomics, but the issue with this is that it was not applying onto the bristles in an efficient manner. It was either overshooting, undershooting, or just spreading excess off to the sides because of the angle that the toothpaste tube was put at. But the problem with this is that it was unable to be fixed or remedied, because to fix the angle you would have had to raise the back of the toothpaste tube, and the problem with this is that it made it structurally unstable.
right, similar to this. So we began researching different types of toothpaste alternatives, and our first type that we found was a company out of California, Bite. And so the tablets, as shown here, are just simple tablets that you would take in your mouth, bite down, and it would become toothpaste, or it would change into toothpaste into your mouth, and you would then brush your teeth. So in doing more research on the Bite company, we found that, like many different companies in the toothpaste tablet industry, they do not include fluoride, which is a critical component for teeth of people older than 6 years old. And so after more research, we found the German company Dentabs, who makes these tablets, as shown here, that are smaller than the Bite tablets, but also contain fluoride, and it worked very similar to the Bite tablets.
Now, the reason we moved on to these, obviously, as HL said, and as obviously I already said about the problems with having the toothpaste being applied. But what this allowed us to do was move on to removing a toothpaste tube from our product entirely, thus reducing the waste. We were able to store the toothpaste tablets inside of the handle and we drilled a hole in the cover so that you could slide the cover down, get a toothpaste tablet, put it in your mouth, brush your teeth. But the problem with our third prototype is that we drilled the hole too high, and it always exposed the bristles to germs, and obviously that's a sanitation issue when it comes to something that you're putting in your mouth. Now, with our final product, we fixed this problem by moving the hole down to the bottom, and we also reduced the size of the product because their prototype was slightly too large, and it holds a 2-week capacity or 28 tablets. The top component obviously protects our bristles because the hole is so much further down. And the way that we tested this, so we brushed it in a model toothpaste, to model dental mouth.
Right? And this model, as seen here, it can easily brush all the front teeth and easily access all the back teeth when the mouth is opened with the average adult size of 1.75 inches.
And some of the other testing that we did was to test the structural stability of our toothbrush when it's exposed to water for prolonged amounts of times. And the reason we did this was because part of the bamboo that we received was warped so bad that we had to force it to glue straight. And I wanted to see that if when it soaked in a lot of water, if it expanded and tried to either crack the bamboo or crack the super glue that we were using to hold it together. So we took our third prototype, soaked it in a tub of water for an hour. There was no signs of any damage, no cracks, no stress fractures, nothing of the sorts. And this obviously helped us determine that our product was structurally stable.
All right, and then the study summary, we learned about the upcoming and market of bamboo toothbrushes and toothpaste tablets. Even more, learning that toothpaste tablets, as seen here, is in this 2008 patent, have been around for over a decade and are really, in this decade, expected to grow significantly. We also were able to accomplish a toothbrush and toothpaste combination product that featured no plastic, and as you can see here, with the bristles completely isolated to where there no exposure, outside exposure is present. So as far as selling the product, we would like to sell to hospitals directly and sell it to make sure that every acute bed in the hospital would have a toothbrush that could easily be used by the patient. As far as selling, we would also like to sell directly to the consumer through an app. In this app, you would have a 2-minute timer, which is the American Dental Association recommended time of brushing teeth. To fill this 2-minute gap, we would have musicians have songs on this app that the user could play for a 2-minute span to brush their teeth. This would give musicians a chance to have a further expanding audience of new listeners or already listening listeners, and also give them a chance to set new records and to be able to produce new songs during the time that this app would be on playing for your brushing your teeth. And that is our presentation.
And we'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you.